What's going on, guys? Today we are going to be installing and reviewing this Viofo A139 3-channel dash cam. So you have a camera that faces the front of the vehicle, one that faces the back of the vehicle, and then one that faces inside at like the driver and the passenger. I'll post timestamps down in the video description if you kind of want to jump around a little bit and don't want to watch the whole video, since it will probably get a little bit lengthy. So this would be a great camera if you do something like rideshare, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, whatever. It's always nice to have a camera front and rear, but this would be great also just because of the internal feature. We have a 140 degree field of view for the front facing camera, a 170 degree field of view for the cabin interior, and a 170 degree for the rear as well. The interior and rear cameras film in full HD, which is 1080p, and the front facing camera is 2K. They have what's called super night vision with the Sony Starvis sensors, which I did notice this personally between my Viofo A129 Pro Duo that I have. This 3-channel one does have better night shots. It's a little less grainy. The interior camera also has infrared for better nighttime dark viewing. And then it has voice notifications. It'll tell you if the memory card's getting full, or if your SD card's not in there. And it'll tell you how many channels it's recording when it starts up. And when you hit the event button to save a recording, it'll say that there's a recording in progress or being saved. The 139 also has dual built-in Wi-Fi, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. You can connect with your phone on the app, control the recording, view live feed. It also records GPS tracker and speed. And as you see here, there's 3 parking mode options: time-lapse, low bitrate recording, or auto event detection. I like mine just to have it on auto. Also, as we're going along here, you can see they're currently offering 10% coupon code down at the bottom, any order over $100. The front-facing camera also features a 300-degree rotating lens, so you should be able to get it at pretty much any angle you need it at. The cables aren't ridiculously thick or anything, so they're easy to kind of tuck into your interior panels or into the headliner, however you want to route your wiring. And it features a USB-C charging port, which is nice because you can plug it in however you want. And then you also have the option of using an external mic if you wanted to route that somewhere. It just plugs right into the front unit. And then that brings us to the CPL, circular polarizing lens. It's supposed to reduce glare, and I have noticed that it does take pretty good shots even in direct sunlight, so I would highly recommend using that. I actually have a CPL on the front and rear camera on my A129 Duo setup. I also have this hardwiring kit for my A129, and I highly recommend you get it if you want, this to just come on whenever you start your vehicle. You pretty much hardwire it in to your vehicle for ignition power and constant power. That way it's always recording. So like in my truck, if I plug it in with the power outlet, the cigarette outlet, that only gets power when the truck is running. So it can't do the auto parking event detection and all that stuff if it has no power. So it's useless when it's parked, and my truck has been hit when it's been parked. So I highly recommend this. That way you're covered 24/7 with 3 cameras. You can see pretty much everything, and it's recording all the time. And I don't have this currently, but they do have an optional Bluetooth remote control, so you can mount that button a little bit closer. That's more convenient to push if an event happens, so you don't have to reach forward up to your windshield and take your focus off the road. And then when we get to the packing list here of what all comes in the box, you're going to get the front camera, the rear camera, the interior infrared camera, the CPL filter for the front camera only. Then you'll get your rear camera cable, which is 6 meters, interior camera cable, which is 1 meter, the car charger adapter, which again, if you don't have power to your car charging port all the time, this is not going to allow you to do parking recording. So that's where I refer you to the hardwire kit. Comes with the USB-C charging cable, the micro SD card adapter to USB, trim removal tool, and a couple stickers to mount the cameras. You will also need to separately purchase a micro SD card, so I would recommend at least a 128 gigabyte one, especially with 3 channels recording at all times. And if you're going to have it on like a 10-minute loop, it can add up pretty quick, especially with 2 channels being 1080 and another channel being in 2K. So now we're going to unbox everything here quickly and just make sure everything came with it that's supposed to come with it. So first out of the box, we have the front camera, which is the main control unit. Has your event recording button, your internal mic, all that stuff, your indicator lights, and it houses the front camera as well as the micro SD card. All of the other things are going to plug into this unit right here on the top, as you can see. Next, we've got the interior camera here. You can see it's got the 6 dots on it for the infrared. Next, we've got the rear-facing camera, which can rotate as needed to adjust the viewing angle. Then we've got this little bag here that comes with the SD card to USB adapter, so you can transfer the SD card footage onto your computer. And there's also a couple extra 3M sticky adhesives for the cameras in case they fail or have to be replaced. Here's the USB-C charging cord. Here we have the CPL filter lens for the front camera, just kind of clips onto the lens itself. This is our 12-volt power outlet. Again, this will not work for parking recording if you don't have constant power to that charging port when your vehicle's turned off. Here's our 1 meter long cord that goes from the main front camera control unit to the interior camera, and then this is our 6 meter cord that goes from the front camera to the rear camera. And then we've got our trim removal tool, as well as the instructions, a couple of stickers I think right here. The user manual has everything you should need to know about it, and then it has a little welcoming booklet as well. It tells you to download the app and how to use that, which I will show you here quickly. Alright guys, so obviously this is a bit of an eyesore. I would definitely do it better if I was hardwiring this into the truck, just like I have my A129 Duo set up. But this setup is not going to be staying in this truck. I'm probably going to put it in a different vehicle. So I kind of just have wires all over the place just to show you how everything is just generally set up and how it's going to work. Now, Viofo said I don't need to do an install video just in the sake of keeping this short, like I mentioned earlier. So I'm just going to show you the basics. Got the main unit here attached to the windshield. You've got your 2 small wires, one that goes to the front camera here and one to the rear camera. They just push into place. Like I said, the shorter cord is going to go to your front internal camera, and the longer one I have run all the way back, and I just have it stuck to the dead center there. I have that one that I normally use off to the side so I can use my sliding window, but just for the sake of testing these cameras, I wanted it dead center so I can get you guys the most accurate field of view and as high as possible. Now, I recommend before you pull the sticky tape off, the 3M adhesive tape off of the interior and rear view cameras, that you connect with your phone. Then you open up the Viofo app and you can see what the camera is seeing. And so I needed to view on my phone which way was upright for these. So as you can see, there's no arrow or anything that says like up. So want to make sure that you install these correctly. Obviously, you don't want your footage being upside down. So I put the SD card in here from my A129. You've got your, like I said, your front and rear camera hookups, and then this one right here, this is for my other camera. This one right here is the main power that I just have plugged in to the cigarette outlet power. They do make a hardwire kit, like I mentioned, which I do recommend so you don't have all this cable going on, but you know, to each their own. So those 3 cables are all we need. As you see here, the way this is oriented with the V out, if you're reading it from the driver's seat, it would be on the right hand side, and that camera is right side up. Make sure that you use this camera here with the infrared. That's the one that's the interior camera. And from what I saw on the app, that camera is just black and white, but I could be wrong. I'll have to look through the specs here. And then coming in from the passenger side here, again, this one has some print, video out, It reads that direction. That needs to be on this side, and that camera is right side up as well. Front and rear cameras are for sure color. You also have the option to hook up an AV cable and a microphone. I believe this has a built-in mic already here, so I'm just going to test that while I'm driving, get you guys some footage. I'm going to try and get some nighttime and daytime, front and rear, just to kind of get you the best idea about the quality of these cameras. And I did clip on the CPL lens that is supposed to reduce glare off of glass and stuff like that. I have them on my A129 Duo as well. I recommend those. So let's fire it up, see what happens. See the blue light on there for the power. Got the recording light on the unit here.
Recording, 3 channels started.
There we go. The GPS light is also on. The mic is on. And it just verbally told me that it's recording all 3 channels. So we should be all set. To connect with your phone to view what's going on, you do a long press on this Wi-Fi button.
Wi-Fi enabled.
There you go, Wi-Fi enabled. All right, so once you've downloaded the Viofo app, you're gonna open up your settings in your phone and connect with Wi-Fi to the device. As you see there, I clicked Viofo on my settings for the internet, and then you can go back to the app and you can see our 3 live feeds right here. You have to stop recording, which I just pushed the shutter button there on my camera phone screen. You stop the recording and then you can go in and make changes. You can't make changes while it's recording, but you can see all sorts of stuff in here that you can change. I'm just playing around with a couple settings that I prefer. You can feel free to absolutely just go through this and customize everything to your preferences. Now, so long as your vehicle cuts power to the power outlet here, when you shut the vehicle off, even with just this cord and not being hardwired into the vehicle, it will shut the cameras on and off with the ignition. As you see here, my truck cuts power to that port when I shut it off. No more blue light. You could hear it power down, and that's that. My dash cam actually came in handy because somebody at my work backed into my truck with another truck, and I captured it on film, so that really helped me out there. Start the truck back up. Unit powers up, and 3 channels connected.
Recording, 3 channels started.
So here's my A129 Duo that I usually use in this truck. As you can see, there's wires coming from behind rear view mirror cover, and it's much cleaner this way. I have it hardwired into the truck, like I said, and that is why I was able to capture it when my truck got hit. I just had the wires tucked above the headliners here. To the best of my ability. It really cleans stuff up a lot more. But the hardwire kit does require you to tap into a constant power and switched power source. So if you're not used to working on vehicles or doing wiring, you may want to consult a professional to do that portion for you.
Voice recording enabled.
Alright guys, we're going to do a little audio test here. I've got my windows up, no radio on or anything like that. So I'm just talking at normal talking volume to test the internal mic with this camera. Originally I was going to do a couple of daytime shots and nighttime shots for driving footage, but we have some really weird weather today, so this is a good test for it. It's 11 a.m., so basically middle of the day, and as you can see it's pretty darn dark out because we've got some wicked thunderstorms going on today. So I figured this would be a good test for, say, like overcast weather coming into dark nighttime. So we will do another shot in the dark so we can test the night vision here on the internal camera, and of course we'll have daytime footage. I have to say I have seen some footage off of this already, and the nighttime front view is actually pretty darn good. It's noticeably better than my A129 Duo that I have, thanks to that Sony sensor, I believe. It's just a little bit more clear and less grainy at night. Inside you're only going to be able to get so good, but it is what it is. Alright guys, now here is a nighttime shot of inside the cab here while I'm talking. Again, windows up. Try windows down quick. So now I'm talking the same. I assume it's probably harder to hear me, but this is just going to be an audio test on how the audio with the internal mic is with the windows down and wind interference. And here's a nighttime shot out the back window. Of course, there's no infrared on the back camera, and there's no headlights shining the light, so you really only see stuff when there's light present, as you can see by a passing car, street lamps, etc. like that. This is mainly, going to be used only if something were to happen where you get rear-ended or you're in a parking situation. And here's the nighttime shot inside the truck. It actually does pretty good for having no light in the truck. There's no actual lights. It's just the infrared sensors themselves. So this is about as good as you can hope for nighttime interior shot wise. And lastly, we have some daytime shots here, which are obviously going to be our best with the light and everything like that. It's just going to have the best picture quality. You do get a few more reflections, as you'll see. You can kind of see the reflection on my windshield from my dash and my speakers and stuff like that. You can kind of see some of that, but that has nothing to do with the camera. It's just where the camera is positioned at the angle, and just the natural habit of the things reflecting off of the windshield. So there's nothing that can really be done about that, but nice clear good color picture out the front here. You can identify license plate if needed. Here is the 1080p rear facing camera shot out the back of the truck here. Again, pretty good coloring and good picture quality going on. And then last but not least, the interior camera during the day, and of course, as the general theme goes here, the daytime shot is the best one because of the natural lighting. Again, pretty clear even though it's black and white. So that is about going to wrap it up for this video. I know it got a little bit long, so hopefully the timestamps help out a little bit. Thanks to Viofo for sending me this to review. I will put their website down in the video description, as well as a link to this camera setup, as well as the CPL lens filter, the hardwire kit, all that. I'll link it all down below. If this video helped you out, make sure you hit that like button, comment down below with any questions, subscribe for more videos like this. Also check me out on all my socials. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.